Welcome back to Kim's Cozy Corner. I'm Kim, and this is week 4 of our 2023 seed starting. Today, we are going to start some new seeds as well as up pot some of our current seedlings. Let's get started. We are on week 4 of our seed starting journey for this 2023 season. The first thing we need to do is give you an update on the first 3 weeks. Take a look at this video.
Welcome back to the week 4 seedling update. So let's see how our young seedlings are doing. The cauliflower and the broccoli needs to be up potted, which we will do this week. The bib, the salad bowl, and the dark rodent continue to look wonderful. The dynamite looks amazing as well, which is a headed lettuce. All of that will be up potted into larger containers. The iceberg still nothing. We will take care of that, and we will remove that today and replace it with something else. The rhubarb is showing its true leaves, but we will not up pot that this week. We will wait one more week for the rhubarb. The cabbage looks amazing, and we will wait one more week, and then we'll up pot that as well. Back here we have all of our dwarf tomatoes. The Tiny Tim did wonderful. The Tiny Tim came in well. The Red Robin, which is also a dwarf tomato, actually did break ground, so we have a few of those. And the Santa Claus has done nothing yet. The early Grano onion are breaking ground. That's a week old. So all of these right here are a week old. Herbs in the front here, and you can see there are herbs in every cell. The bok choy. Next week we will be transplanting the bok choy. It actually came up in 3 days. Celery we will have to separate next week because I have way too many in each of the cells here. You can see there's a ton in there. So we're going to try to separate that next week. The hosta. There's something coming up in that back cell there. I hope that's a hosta. This is a blade of grass. It should not be in here. I somehow or another got a grass seed. There are 2 more herbs, and you can see they're coming up nicely. And then here in the front, these are leeks. Down here we have the different types of onion and how they're doing. This Texas 1015, it's not doing well. So I am going to try to combine these 2 containers into one container so that I can at least get some of those onion. We are going to add to this Walla Walla as well because I have one cell back there that only has 2 onion in it. So we're going to add some seeds to that. And everything else is doing nicely. It's starting to get thicker, the stems. They're filling in nicely, but still not enough onion. I need to plant a lot of onion this year, so we will add more onion to our seedlings this week. In here, we started potatoes. So a week ago, we started potatoes, and they are starting to come up. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little potato coming up right there. There's another one. So in 1 week, they're already breaking ground in this container. Here's the other container of potatoes. And here's a little seedling that's breaking ground there. There's another one there. So in 1 week's time, the potatoes are coming up. These are my romaine lettuce. They're doing nicely. Here's how the GreenStalk is doing. So these containers here are about a week old. And I'm going to give it a little spin here. There's the little gem. Look how pretty that little gem is. That's bib there. And dark rodent. Those are the 3 different types that we have in this particular layer here. And these next 2 layers We have different types of lettuce. In every other pocket, we've planted carrots. So the carrots, there's one starting to come up. Carrots take a long time for me. There's some trying to come up there and some coming up there. So they're starting to do their thing. Let's also look at the lettuce. Now, this lettuce is 2 weeks old in the container here. It's looking wonderful. Next weekend, we will be eating lettuce. That's my update for week 4.
Now that you've seen the update, you know that we have several issues in some of the areas that we need to take care of, as well as it's time to up pot some of those seedlings. Let's start by talking about the onion. So the onion has not been doing very well. So we are going to combine these two Texas 1015s into one container, because there's a couple of cells on here that only has like one onion growing in it. So we're going to try to combine these into one container to save as many of these as I can, because I really do like the 1015s. But we're going to get it down to one container. We're going to also get these Walla Walla and add some additional seeds to one or two of these cells and see if we can kind of improve our overall germination with this one particular tray of Walla Wallas. And as we're talking about the onion, let's talk about what we're going to do next. I'm going to add one more tray of the red burgundy. And so here's a picture of the red burgundy. I have one cell that's doing really, really well, but my family really love red onion. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more of the red onion. And then I ordered more onion seeds. And so they came in over the weekend. I'm really excited about it. And we will be planting all of these different types of onion. And so let's start by sharing with you what I purchased. We purchased yellow of Parma. Yellow of Parma. Yellow of Parma is a long day seed. Global. Look at the size of that onion. Global. Another yellow sweet Spanish onion, which, by the way, this is absolutely our favorite onion. The Spanish yellows are delicious. And I was supposed to only order onion seeds, but when you're looking at seeds, you kind of get carried away. So I also ordered an orange hat, which is a micro dwarf. It only gets 6 to 9 inches tall. And we will go ahead and start some of those seeds as well, because that's something that we can add to the GreenStalk. Free seeds, so some free lettuce seeds, adding that to the GreenStalk, but we have to start seeds first. 2 other seeds that I have are another type of Chinese cabbage, which we're not going to start right now. We'll put it aside for later, and a Cherokee purple tomato. And I just didn't realize I didn't have any of these. So why not one more pack of tomatoes? We are going to, as I'm going through this journey of figuring out which seeds are viable and which ones aren't, I have a lettuce butter crunch that we're going to start. This is a type of Napa cabbage. It's kind of hard to see. And I don't know if these seeds are viable or not, so we're going to give it a try. And then I have some Delcicho broccoli. And if you look at the date on these things are back from 2005. And I planted these last year, and they did germinate, and they gave me some really big, healthy plants. But then the weather didn't cooperate. So we're going to go ahead and give this one a try as well, even though the seeds are so old. But let's give it a try. I don't want to throw out good seeds. And then we're going to do some transplanting of our cabbage and our broccoli, not cabbage, excuse me, cauliflower, broccoli, and some of the lettuces because I really don't have anywhere to put it right now. So we're going to up pot it so we can keep them healthy and growing. So let's start with the onion. I believe you have a good view now of my tray so you can see what I'm doing. The first thing we're going to do is try to save some of these 10-15s. Keep this tray here. We're going to pop the soil out of this cell if we can. Now my soil is very dry, so it's allowing me to be able to pick the whole plug up and move it out and about and around in the cell so that I can have at least one decent cell of the 10-15s. So there you have it, 10-15s. So I'm going to at least save one tray. The Walla Wallas, we are going to add a few onion and see if we can get better germination in this particular tray or cell. So I'm just loosening up the soil where I'm going to add a few more onion. And then, of course, we have to hydrate because these cells are dry. Now we need to cover those onion up. There we go, the Walla Walla. I want to take a moment to stop and share with you the seed starting mix that I use. So if you haven't seen my other videos, I just want to make sure you can see it. I use a Jiffy natural and organic seed starting mix. I sterilize the mix before I use it with boiling water. Globo is an award-winning giant exhibition onion with super sweet complex flavor. So we'll be giving Global a try. Global's done. I'm going to start 2 red burgundies. Red burgundy. Yellow of Parma. We're going to do 2 cells. And now we're going to work on the yellow Spanish sweet. And we're going to do 4 cells of that. That's it for the onions. Now we're going to move over to some of the other seed starting that we said that we wanted to do. 2 cells of broccoli and 2 cells of this Napa cabbage. I already have my cells ready to go to make this process a little faster. We're going to put 2 per cell. Actually, let's put 3 per cell because I'm really worried about germination. So we're going to do 2 cells and we're going to put 3 in each cell. So we have 2 cells of broccoli and 2 cells of Napa cabbage. And we have 3 in each cell, and we're going to hope for some good germination. All right. Next, we're going to do the orange hat, the merlot, and butter crunch. And we're going to do 2 cells of each. And we're going to put them in these teeny little cells because we will up pot them so it can extend the amount of time that we keep it in the growing space. Ooh, that's small. Ooh, that's small. Okay, we're going to do 2 of each. Shaky fingers over here, trying her best to keep these lettuce seeds into the 2 cells on the end. Don't be surprised if they come up and I have them in multiple cells, but we're going to try here. Miss Shaky Fingers doing her best. That was Butter Crunch. And Butter Crunch is one of my most favorite lettuces. Now we're going to do our red lettuce here. I had some of this last year and I didn't reorder it because I had so many lettuce, different types of lettuce already. So I didn't order it and I got it free from Baker's Creek. So I'm glad I was able to get some. Now, orange hat is considered an extra dwarf bush plant, grows just 6 to 9 inches tall, and produces oodles of tiny orange orbs bursting with fruity sweetness. Now, there's some really good description there. Oh my goodness. I put like 6 seeds in that one cell. If they germinate, we will absolutely pot those and try to keep as many as we possibly can. And I'm expecting them to germinate. Baker Creek has always been good to me, and their seeds always germinate well. But they were just so tiny, I could not control how many I put in this pot. These are going to be perfect for the GreenStalk. All right, there's another 3 cells. Now, everything else that we have is something that we're up potting to a larger pot so that we can have more room for the roots to grow and develop. So let's get those over here and get those started. So now we're going to take this cauliflower. We're going to try to separate as best as we can and up pot them into these larger cells. So let's get started. So in the cauliflower, which by the way, they need watering bad. Oh my goodness, they are so dry. I may have waited too long, but let's see how we're doing here. So I'm going to create a little hole to put it in. Backfill it a little bit. Get the soil back up to the same level where it was before. And so I've already turned 1 pocket into 2. And then we'll do the same thing throughout this process. So there are 2 here. I am going to separate those 2 out, just gently pulling them apart. Put each one of them into a pocket and backfill it with soil all around. And that one's good to go. Let's do the next. Now, some people will say this might be too early to do this particular task. I could have waited a little longer, but I travel a lot for work and I have to take advantage of the time that I have. As long as you have that first set of true leaves, you should be fine doing this step. And I just realized I didn't explain what a true leaf was. So let me get these in here and then I will explain the concept of a true leaf. All right. So when your seedlings, and these are some sick looking seedlings, but when your seedlings first come up, they put on 2 leaves and it's where the stem comes up and it opens up into 2 leaves. Those typically are not your true leaves. And if you wait until it grows just a little bit more, you will see a 3rd leaf come up from the middle of that stem. And that's your first true leaf. And so you need to have your true leaves in place before you start messing too much with your seedlings. So I just turned 3 cells into 6 because I had at least 2 seeds germinate in those 3 cells. So I've up potted to 6 plants. Now, if I was to buy this at the local nursery or your Home Depots or your Lowe's, I believe last year they were going for about $5 for a pot like this. I think my cauliflower seeds were $3 for a pack of 200. So you see how much you can save. Our cauliflower label in there is called Flame Star. So we're going to get this next tray going. I will fast forward it so I'm not boring you with me inserting these plants into the cells. Cauliflower is done. We're going to move on to the broccoli. For the broccoli, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to create a hole. We're going to separate the plants, and then we're going to backfill. There's the broccoli. So that was, I went from 6 cells of broccoli to 12 cells of broccoli, as well as with the cauliflower. So let me get this set to the side, and then we will work on up potting the lettuce. All right, so the dark rodent is not healthy. It is so dry. So I may lose this extra dark rodent. So you have to stay on your watering. I missed this one. I tried to hold off on watering for this video, and I probably should have just went ahead and watered. But we are going to see if we can resuscitate this dark rodent. So it doesn't look good. Prognosis is not favorable, but we are going to try. For the bib and the salad bowls, we are going to, let's see what I have down for that. I'm going to up pot the salad bowls into one of these 4 cells right here. The bib as well. So we're going to turn this 1 into 4. Well, at least we're going to try. So I'm going to divide it in half, and then in half again. I really should up pot into a cell just bigger than this one. I want to slowly increase the size of these. All right, let's see if we can split this one as well. And you can see how the roots had circled around the bottom there. They were getting root bound. It really, really needed up potting. So hopefully this will give it just a little more life to hang on just a little longer until I can transplant this for good eating. This will buy us some time. And again, all of this is extra. So I've already transplanted what I thought was all I needed. So this is all extra and saving us a ton of money from buying this stuff at the store. So I went from 1 cell to 4 cells of bib. And we're going to do the exact same process for the red salad bowl. For this red salad bowl, I am actually going to separate it into 8 plants. They are so healthy in here. I am going to try to get 8 plants out of it. Red salad bowl went from 1 cell to 8 cells. Green salad bowl went from 1 cell to 4 cells. And I do it based on the size of the plant. So these weren't as large as the red salad bowl. So I wanted to keep them together. If they get a little larger, I can upplant them and separate them at that time. But for now, they're small enough, I believe, to stay at this size. And then the last plant that we're going to up pot is the dynamite, which is a type of lettuce. When I started this plant, it was slow to take off, but it did okay. The iceberg lettuce to the side of it, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So we will up pot the dynamite, which is a headed lettuce. So we want to make sure we give it plenty of room. And I'm hoping to get at least 4 cells out of it. Separating them down to 1 per pocket if possible. Okay, there we have it. So I turned dynamite from 3 cells to 8 cells, and there are 8 healthy dynamite plants in here. So let me get cleaned up, and we will put everything into the grow station so you can see what all we have growing now. We added to the indoor grow space. So we now have 2 trays on that row and a tray and a half on that row. So we're up to 3.5 trays in the seedling station. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll keep these videos coming. Thank you. Enjoy growing. Bye-bye.